LFSB program is basically coming to assist farmers to be better able to produce their fish and to ensure that they'll be able to get better margins out of this. One of the technologies that we have basically promoted is the production of red worms to ensure that farmers have an alternative source of protein to feed their fish, which is basically cheaper. Traditionally, farmers have used the bucket systems, which were inefficient in that there would be high losses from attack by ants and things like that. As a result, we have promoted a new technology where we are promoting the use of raised breeding bins, which ensures that the earthworms are not affected by ants. The earthworm production process basically takes a month from the time that they are introduced into the box to the time when they are ready for feeding to fish. Farmers normally then just collect them and then they can just throw them onto the top of the water and then the fish will feed on them. This way they will then be able to reduce, in some cases they can totally eliminate the need for concentrates or reduce the quantity of concentrate that they use, so that at the end of the day their cost of production is lowered because they will be using less commercial feed.
The first and most important step in the red worm breeding process is the breeding box. As a program, LFSB is encouraging farmers to utilize locally available materials in the construction of their breeding boxes. Of importance in the construction of the box is the height, which must not exceed 60 centimeters, as this affects the feeding patterns of the worms. The length and width of the box can be determined by the length of the shed in which the box will be kept. The box can be 2 meters in length, stretching even up to 10 meters. Once the box is constructed, it must not be laid on the ground, but be affixed to attachments of no less than 50 centimeters above ground. Red worms attract ants, and by putting the box on a raised platform, farmers protect their worms. Farmers can apply used oil on the stills to ward off ants. Once raised, the farmer can then begin to lay the compost bedding in the box, but first, the farmer must lay a plastic sheet covering the length and width of the box to act as a protective layer for the box. Once the plastic sheet is in place, the farmer can begin to lay his compost bedding, beginning with soil. Ideally, for the first layer, topsoil or soil gathered from an anthill is recommended. As bedding material, farmers are encouraged to use locally available materials in the form of maize stalks. In the case of Wonde Valley, where bananas are in plentiful supply, banana leaves. Farmers are encouraged to use any other residue from their fields as bedding for their compost. After laying the bedding, water is added to the compost as well as a thin layer of manure to provide moisture and a perfect breeding ground for the red worms. When all this is done, it is time for the red worms to be introduced to the breeding box. The worms can be fed kitchen residue like leftover salsa and excess vegetables. Fruit residue like banana peels can also be used. Once this is all done, all the farmer has to do is wait for 30 days to harvest the red worms. But in the meantime, water coming from the box also has a use in the farmer's household. Farmers can harvest water from the box. This water is rich in nutrients and can be used as foliar fertilizer in the farmer's garden and fields.
The critical thing that we are trying to do there is to actually lower the cost of production. A typical bag, for example, of a fish feed currently goes at around 840 RTGS, which is a lot of money for a communal farmer. But by keeping these earthworms, they basically use them as a source of protein, and they are doing this at next to no cost other than the labor that it takes for them to put in water and put in the composting material as well as source the red worms.